In fact, she was only just not doing me a favour. I rather gasped. Of course, what she wanted was a good slapping, but she wasn't mine to slap, and it was hardly the time or place. So I thanked her very much for putting the chance in my way. There was nothing else to say. But please understand, everyone, that this is not to be regarded as a precedent. She said, "That's all right then. Where shall we go now?" I said, "Go, at this time of night. Haven't you any parents sitting up for you?" She said she had lots, but they never expected her home before 3 or 4 on Fridays. No, she'd put me to all this trouble, and she was determined to amuse me somehow. Jump in. It was her car at the door, and she started her engine by this time. Mind you, I wouldn't have done it, but I didn't like to hurt her feelings, and she had quite unusual personal charm. No, but joking apart, she was only about 19 or something quite ridiculous, and yet one liked being with her. You can't explain these things. Anyway, that was why I got in when she told me to. There was a policeman watching us from the doorway when we started, but I avoided his eye. It was lucky the streets were fairly empty, because we seemed to be in St. John's Wood in about 2 minutes. Not that she didn't drive well, but Stenson Cook wouldn't have approved. We stopped at a small garage, where the man evidently knew her, and shoved the car in, and then we walked for 200 or 300 yards up the hill. We fetched up at a house which stood a little back from the road. It had 2 gates and a half-moon carriage drive. Holly bushes, you know the sort of thing. The whole place was in darkness. It would be. It was well after 1. But she rang the bell, and an immensely fat butler man appeared. He only opened the door a little at first, but when he recognised Richard, he let us in. There was a large square hall inside, with a big staircase leading up out of it.